for joining us, and I'm hoping some of you didn't take your time out of your vacation to do so. But I hope that you will find this informative and be able to use it in your work. I'm Connie Spohn. I'm the Assistant Director of the Career and Technical Education Technical Assistance Center of New York. And as Gretchen said, this is one of the webinars that CTE TAC is developing to go along with the approval process, and they will be archived on our website. During the webinar today, we will examine the components of a post-secondary articulation agreement, take a look at the benefits of post-secondary articulation, look at what needs to be done during the program approval application process to address post-secondary articulation, and then finally what should be done or what should happen once the articulation is in place and the CTE programs are approved. Although Governor Cuomo was only talking about T-Tech programs and early college high schools, something that he is funding in his budget, in his January 2018 State of the State message, he expressed importance in giving high school students the opportunity to earn some college credit or an associate's degree while in high school. Research tells us that students who receive some post-secondary credits while in high school are more likely to go on to college and complete their program. CTE has been ahead of the game by offering post-secondary articulations in their programs since the 1990s through Tech Prep and New Vision programs. Post-secondary articulation officially became a part of CTE in 2000 with the policy for approved CTE programs. In the CTE program approval, the articulation agreement is designed to prepare students for the transition from high school study to post-secondary study in the career area of the program of study seeking approval. This preparation might include, but is not limited to, exposure to the college-level curriculum and instruction, becoming familiar with the college campus, the receipt of college credits to get a jump start on the college program, or shortened time toward graduation. For program approval, a CTE program of study must include one or more articulation agreements. So you may have one with just one organization or one with more post-secondary institutions. Those institutions can be 2 or 4 year. They can be public or private. They can also be in-state and out-of-state. And they might also be with a registered apprenticeship program. And then there should be an effective time frame that extends through the period of the approval that this program receives. Not only are these requirements, but you will be asked to report on them in the approval and the reapproval applications, and I'll be showing you where and how to do that. As the CTE TAC staff reviews approved programs and works with schools to get new programs started, articulation agreements are often presenting problems. Some local colleges may not have a program the high school's program of study translates smoothly into. There are times when some of the important components of an articulation agreement are not included in the written document. Sometimes signed copies are not sent to SED, or the document is out of date. And unfortunately, it often takes a long time to establish a working relationship with a post-secondary institution, get curriculum and criteria established, and move the document through the appropriate offices for approval. This should not be a new relationship. Representatives from post-secondary institutions should already be serving on your advisory committee, which makes getting started on an articulation agreement easier. You may need to seek a department chair, a dean, or a vice president of academic affairs to help develop and move the agreement forward, but having the advisory committee member assist you is beneficial. To increase the possibility of a student taking advantage of the articulation agreement, the post-secondary institution should be one that is accessible to the student, meaning that students should be able to travel to the post-secondary institution as well as being able to afford to attend. Often the first consideration is the community college. And of course, the post-secondary institution must have a program that matches the one for which you are seeking approval. It can be a 2- or a 4-year institution, as I had mentioned before, and it could also be out of state. And an example of that, a couple of examples actually, Johnson & Wales has a culinary program there in Rhode Island and some of the southern states. UTI, I believe, is in North Carolina, and they offer automotive programs, and they're often willing to articulate. And sometimes it's easier to get some articulations with groups like that rather than even your own community college. As you go through the approval process, and even prior to, post-secondary representatives should be involved in cooperative development and review of curriculum, delivery of instruction, and student assessment, making it easier to negotiate high school coursework for credit at the post-secondary institution, because that post-secondary institution has people there who are familiar with your program, and they've given you guidance so that it perhaps matches their program in a better way. Components of an articulation agreement are listed on this slide. The first is prerequisite skills, knowledge, and coursework required of students to participate in the agreement. Some examples of this would be the student must complete 1 year of coursework in the articulated program at the college and earn a specified GPA. Or the student might be asked to provide a certificate of CTE endorsement. They might have to register for some specific courses. Or they might submit a successful high school transcript showing a specific GPA. Or have participated in a work-based learning experience. And by the way, the examples that I'm giving you have come from a variety of different articulation agreements. So these are things that are actually seen in them. Next, the roles and responsibilities of each institution should be outlined. For example, the college would provide guidance with the high school curriculum and development. The college might designate faculty liaisons who will conduct site visits, class observations, and meetings with concurrent enrollment instructors. Annual professional development might be provided to the high school faculty by the college. The high school faculty will be expected to follow the college curriculum and use college-level text. Again, these are just examples. There's not something that you have to do, but they might be part of the agreement, and they may give you some ideas of what to include in your articulation. The duration of the agreement should be included or must be included, and the dates it was signed, when it goes into effect, and the length of the agreement are very important. There should be the 5-year duration of the program approval that it covers, and if things change, it should be reviewed. Next, the document should be endorsed by officials of each institution. the president, the vice president of academic affairs, the dean, the superintendent of the school, the principal, a department chair from either the college or the secondary program, and perhaps instructors might be involved in signing. However, it is best to have the highest level officials signing the document so that everyone knows what's happening and it becomes very official when they sign off. Costs associated with the post-secondary credit should be listed in the documents, and that might be that it would say it would cost a student a certain amount of money per credit or per course. So maybe it's $65 a credit or $65 a course, depending on what's negotiated. Often programs that are College Now or AP credit are paid for, and it might be at a reduced rate instead of the rate a normal matriculated student at the college would pay. And when the student is paying, there should be an official college transcript that goes with the student wherever they go. The final articulation agreement should result in clear benefits to the student. Here is a list of benefits, and I would like to take time to share examples of each. And again, these things are items that might be written within the document, and it would be very obvious what the benefits are to students, and in fact, they should be there. First is dual credit or concurrent enrollment. The college credit is earned while taking the course in the high school program, most often paid for by the student or the high school, and the student receives a college transcript showing that they have taken and received a grade, which can be used as evidence of course credit at other institutions. And this is really the most ideal, because students can have that transcript and can show that everywhere. They get the credit for their course if they're going to the articulated post-secondary institution, and there's no question about that. College credit, the student earns credits for certain college courses once they have successfully completed their high school program and they are enrolled in the college program. Sometimes they get as much as a full year of credits, and the credits might be for the CTE program, or it might be in an academic area, depending on how much academic integration there might have been. So they may end up with the equivalent to a freshman year English course, if there was a lot of English language arts integrated into the CTE program. There is a chance that this type of an agreement might not be recognized for every student because of one criteria or another. The agreement will probably outline that stipulation. So look for that, think about that. What is and the college will be probably putting that information in or offering that as part of the agreement. There's advanced standing, which, and those examples would include receiving credit after taking and passing a challenge exam during the first week of school. Guaranteed admission into the Department of Study versus just being admitted to the college. They may come in as with one semester completed, so they would start in the second half of the freshman year and be ahead of the game, or even come in as a second year student. There is also reduced tuition once the student goes to the college, and they may only have to pay, let's say, a set rate of $1,000 versus $1,500 for tuition. Or there may be instead of a discounted rate for a whole year, there might be a reduced cost per credit hour or per course amount. There are other things that can be benefits to students and may appear in an articulation agreement. There might be scholarships for students from that particular school when they arrive at the college. They may have guaranteed admission to the college, but maybe they won't have guaranteed admission into the CTE-related program. They may also receive a college ID privilege as a high school student that would allow them to go to the library or participate in and take advantage of some of the athletic events and facilities at the campus, giving them a sense of what campus life is actually like. And remember, we're looking for a transition from high school to college, and those kinds of things do help. When the agreement has been prepared and signed, it's ready to go to the program approval self-study team. The team should make sure that it is, in fact, with the program approval document, that it includes the previously mentioned components, is of direct benefit to students, and is signed and dated. Second, the Section 8 of the program approval application is dedicated to the recording of information about the agreement. Form H in the application forms packet on the SED website must also be filled out. In Section 8 of the application, you can see, as you can see here, the name of the institution with whom you are developing the articulation agreement appears, along with checking the type of benefit to the student. And if you check other, you need to make sure that you tell what other includes. The third thing, as mentioned, Form H, Post-Secondary Articulation Agreement, also has to be completed. On this form, you list each post-secondary institution, the course or courses that the institution is granting credit for, the number of credits that are going to be granted, and that would be by course, other benefits, and then the effective date of the agreement. And remember, that should cover the time the program is going to be approved for. And then you check off the box that says that the document is attached. Note the agreement must state the name of the secondary program involved in the articulation. So if it's an automotive program, a culinary program, an early childhood program, a welding, a green program, that title needs to appear on the document. It is then submitted electronically with the application and attached to the paper application document that's also submitted. Fourth, it goes without saying that the articulation agreement should be kept on file because it's an official document, and it should be kept on file with the BOCES, the district, or the BOCES, along with other program approval documents. Even though it should go without saying, make sure that it is on file. Make a plan to review the agreement regularly. It is recommended that each time there is a change of curriculum, program, assessment, teacher, change in the college program, that it should be reviewed and, if necessary, revised and reapproved. The agreement itself may also say when it is to be reviewed. It might say this document will be reviewed yearly on the anniversary date of the signing. It will also need to be reviewed and updated for reapproval. Now that all this work has taken place to prepare this document, it needs to be publicized. Share it with guidance so that they know the benefit of the articulated program and can tell students and parents about them. Talk about the benefits at open house during student orientation. Include information in public relations materials and parent letters. And keep talking about articulation with the students throughout their course of study. Take them to visit the colleges. Make sure students can tell you the benefits. Many programs have neglected this step, resulting in students and parents knowing nothing about the articulation agreements or benefits. You want the students to take advantage of the opportunity. Remember the governor's quote at the beginning of this presentation? And finally, devise a way to track the number of students and credits received as a result of the articulation agreement. This is a good opportunity to collaborate with post-secondary institutions to get the data. It is also a way to show the impact of your program. And unfortunately, even though we've been doing articulation agreements for about 17 years or more, there is not data available to say, we know students are taking advantage of this, we know that they have gotten the benefits of the work that we've done. So this is something that's been neglected, and it really needs to be purposely thought about and plans made to collect that data. On this slide, I've given you some resources. First, on the SED website, there is the Program Approval Implementation Guide, and that not only addresses articulation, but addresses all the steps in program approval. The program approval application and forms can also be found on the state ed website, and both the approval, initial and reapproval applications are there. The CTE TAC website has a section under self-study, and that one has self-study talks about the post-secondary articulation, and there you will find sample articulation agreements and checklists for preparing the agreements themselves. There are also the things that are probably most useful under the CTE Program Approval Planning Guide, and that is the last link, and that will take you through step by step, getting your materials and ideas and people together, to actually going through the program and putting that together and getting it ready for the application. So these are all tools that you can use as you address post-secondary articulation. So with that, time to answer your question. And Gretchen, what do we have?
Okay, thank you, Connie. We don't have any questions right now. We can give the attendees a minute or two to type in any.
Okay. No questions, Gretchen?
Nope, just a question about getting a copy of the presentation. So as a reminder, this webinar is recorded, and when it's posted on nyctecenter.org, a copy of the PowerPoint will be posted along with it.
Well, with that, I thank you, and if you're on vacation, have a great rest of the week, and I wish you a good spring semester. Thank you very much.
Awesome. Thank you, Connie. On behalf of the Technical Assistance Center, thank you to our attendees, and have a great day.